Hey Hugs, Amazon Prime Days are coming. It's July 15th and 16th this year. Now I know we're all Prime members, but if you aren't, now is a great time to take advantage of their free 30-day trial so that you can have access to all of these amazing prices. Also, if you're using the Amazon app for the first time, you're going to get $10 credit just for opening the app. And when you make your first purchase, another $10 of credit towards any purchases you want on Amazon.com. This is a great way to support the Uggs. Just click through our Ugly Truth website, click the Amazon link, and go shopping. Thank you so much. Enjoy your deals. Thanks so much for pressing play on the latest episode of The Ugly Truth. It is all about Paula's world this week, and she wants me and my sisters to find her a man in the future. All of this plus some ugly and awkward moments of the week. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
Why is your soul in the depths of hell today?
Paula?
He says he lays pipe. That's not a real job.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the Ugly Truth.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth. This is episode 383. You would think that because we do this twice a week that I would know the episodes.
I don't.
I never know. I never know. Anyway, so it's episode 383.
Is it really? Because the last one I
yes.
have is 382. Or 381, I mean.
383.
Okay. All right. We are sisters who podcast. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fine. Whatever. Yes. Moving on. Whatever. Semantics.
Well, the only reason why I'm curious is because, we have to save our recordings, and I just label them by number. And the last one I had was 381. So I'm just like, what happened to 382? Where did it go? I don't know why I didn't.
Because you recorded it with me. You were at my house.
That's why I don't have it. Okay, that makes sense.
You're freaking me out. And see, now we're splitting hairs on details.
No, it was bothering me because it would be one of those things. I'm just like, why would I delete that one, but not 381? It's just so bizarre. But you're right. Yes. I was at your house, so I didn't save it because I didn't have it.
No,
okay.
Because we shared a microphone and
mystery
stared
solved.
deeply into each other's ugly eyes.
Yeah, we never looked at each other once.
Paula, there was like an invisible cushion between our bodies.
We were hiding behind those filters.
Let me tell you, if we had to do that every show, it would be a matter of days before we had an actual studio set up.
Oh, God.
We'd be like, all right, that's it.
We would have figured something out.
Actually, I've envisioned what our studio will look like because we will have one day. It's going to be, the way I want it set up is I want it to be like the letter V for vagina. Okay. And you and I will be on either side of the V. So you'll be on one end and I'll be on the other so we can see each other. And then at the point of the V will be the producer stuff. So that's where...
Producer Dub will be the clitoris.
Essentially. Yes.
The pleasure zone.
He'll be the pleasure zone. So we will have our studio one day, damn it.
We will.
It's going to be a thing. It's going to be amazing. And we'll get married on a mountain. And our children will be in a family band.
That will happen, yeah.
It's going to happen.
Olivia told me last night that she wants to be a stand-up comedian when she grows up.
Really? Well, those are goals.
I've already decided, because then she told me before that she wants to be a singer. So I think I've decided that she needs to go to some sort of performing arts school when she gets older.
I think that's appropriate.
I think so.
Does she have any discernible talent besides being snotty?
She's definitely entertaining. So
can she sing? Is she a little Selena?
I've heard her sing, but I mean, nothing that I would, call America's Got Talent on.
Do you know who used to have, when they were little, had a really, really good voice when they were young girls?
Lauren.
Lauren.
Yes.
She had the most amazing range of vocals I'd ever heard. She would sing, I'd be like, why is not this child becoming something more? I mean, not that she's doing amazing, but I just mean as a little girl, she had so much talent, and I just was shocked.
She would sing those Disney songs, I know.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Ariel. She used to sing Part of Your World.
I know. Her and Stephanie, they would sing those songs. It was beautiful. It was shocking.
Maybe Stephanie does Stephanie have a good voice?
I think she does when she can get past herself, you know?
I can only recall the times when we were dumb enough to pay $50 to do karaoke.
Well, that's
Six
what I'm
Flags.
saying. When she can get past herself or have enough cocktails to where, you know, she just doesn't care anymore.
She's so funny. I miss her. I wish we had gone to that John B concert in Napa.
Oh my God. When I saw that video where he's saying, "Isn't it scary?" I got so freaking giddy like a schoolgirl.
Isn't it scary?
And I was just like, if we could have been right there. You know, though, everyone in the audience was so muted, though. And I just know we would have been standing up.
Well, I mean, it's a very tiny venue. It's a club.
Yeah.
And it was packed to the gills and a lot of couples and a lot of mature audiences, but not white hair audience, but just my age and older.
Well, and
because that's when he was popular. Actually, you know who was there were the people who were married and, you know, back in the 90s. And this was like their escape album or something. I don't know. But we were young and nubile when this guy came out.
I don't know. He sang another song, which I wasn't familiar with. You know, I'm not too familiar with his newer stuff, but he sang a song from his newer album the next day. And it was the same kind of thing, you know.
Well, we would have livened it up, trust.
Yeah.
We would have livened it up because we give zero fucks.
Pretty
if we're having a
much.
good time and we love being entertained, we'll be like, go, Zombie. Go, Zombie. I mean, we would go all in. You're like, oh, some ladies are having a good time over here.
Show us your boobs.
It's true. Your lips, your smile. We would have been so loud. It would have been hilarious. All the missed opportunities to be ridiculous.
Wrapped around your waist so tight.
God. It would have been insane.
I can only imagine.
Well, it's going to happen. We'll do it sometime.
I hope so. God, that would be fun.
It sucks, though, because the date just didn't work out. Your kids came
No,
home early, and it just did not work out. Oh, well. Anyway, so this show drops on Wednesday, July 3rd. So here's a pre-happy birthday to America, everyone.
Yes.
Don't blow your digits off, whatever you do. Although nowadays, a toddler could light those fireworks that they sell here in California. This ain't Virginia. Where you can get pretty much anything you want.
They did fireworks in Oklahoma when the kids were there, like just as like, you know, a last hurrah the night before they left. They were the ones that freaking shot in the sky, you know, and like blew up and everything. And I'm like, how do you guys get those things?
Because they're not illegal there.
I guess they just, and I mean, and how are they even available? But I guess they just went and bought them somewhere.
The parts of the country where fire will literally take down the entire village, fireworks are not legal. Like California in general, there's nowhere in California you can do those unless you're a professional place. It's not like the old days. Like I remember when we were kids and Dad would buy those bottle rockets. Everybody loves bottle rockets. I love bottle rockets. They're so fun.
Dad had many illegal fireworks though.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't know where he got them.
Well, I don't know if certain ones back then, I mean, we're talking about the 80s. So I don't think much was illegal. MADs have never been legal.
Whatever rocket he had that shot all the way to the drive-in, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what that was.
That was like a 5-mile
I just remember
missile.
that thing blew over the roof of the house and we lost track of it. And Dad's just like, oh my God, where did that go? And we're like, I don't know.
God, it's so true.
And then unfortunately, and this is the thing that you have to learn as you get older, the names that your father gives fireworks are not the actual real names. And so when you start to call them certain names as you get older and people look at you like, what did you just say? And I'm like, that's not the name of the firework.
They're like, no, that's very racist.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I remember that. I think I was old enough to know that was inappropriate.
Well, and I didn't.
I can't say that word. I don't care who told. If I was an actor and they said you have to say the N word, I'd say, you know what, I'm not going to do it. It's funny to me, the power in a word.
Yeah,
I cannot. It would take someone threatening my life for me to say the N word. But I can say cunt all day. You know what I mean? Like, I have no problem with it. it's just one of those things. I think it's such a bitterly hateful word. I can't do it. And I know people say it all the time, but I'm one of those people who simply, it's like trying to eat acid or something. It's very uncomfortable.
It's
more than uncomfortable.
Not really in my vocabulary.
No, it's not. But happy birthday, America.
Yes. On that note.
On that note, you have the freedom here to say and do what you want, not without consequence. You may not go to jail for it, but people will think you're an asshole if you're talking like an asshole. So don't talk like that on the birthday of our country. So anyway, do you guys have any plans?
I am so wrapped up in this birthday party for Olivia. I actually kind of forgot that it was 4th of July. And so Victor asked me if I had plans. And I said, I don't think I actually do. I guess I'll just have to try and figure out something. I'm sure I'll end up at the stupid little stand spending, an ungodly amount of money to get like 4 fireworks.
I thought your children were afraid of fireworks. Are they still?
Yeah, I mean, they keep their distance.
Yeah.
And the thing is they're impatient too. So, I mean, they want to do fireworks at like 4 o'clock. And I'm like,
they don't understand.
I'm like, it's like the dead of heat outside and you can't see anything. And
they have no patience for anything.
I'm trying to think, last year, we were the worst kind of people. We just went outside and watched everyone else's. But actually,
no, you did them and everybody watched yours.
We've done that most of the time. We're the people that, everyone kind of congregates. And like, there was one year, this was the year that Victor was in Afghanistan. And I had bought all these fireworks and the kids were wound up inside looking out the kitchen window. So I was outside by myself lighting fireworks and people started to get like their lawn chairs and everything. And they started watching me. Oh my God. And I was just like, this is bullshit. I was just like irritated.
I'd be like, get out here, just get out here.
I tried to, but they would not come outside. But I mean, you don't want to yell at your children while you've got 6 or 7 people watching you. And so
isn't that what 4th of July is all about?
Right?
Yelling.
I might as well have just thrown hot dogs at the window. Yeah, that was fun. So I don't really know what's going to happen. I think Victor has to work, but I doubt he really will have to actually go in and work.
We never make plans. Now that when we lived at our old house that we rented and we had neighbors that we're still friends with to this day.
Oh yeah, it was a whole big thing.
It was a huge thing. People there was like 30 or 40 of us. Both houses had food. Everybody was barbecuing. They were sweaty little children running up and down the street, looking ratty. And it was a really fun time. It was such a great little wedge of time because those things never last. It never lasts. It's great when it happens. And then when it's over, well, the recession actually is what happened. Everybody lost their house.
Right.
Except for us. And so we were literally the only people left on the street.
Well, because you were renting, yeah.
Right. And so, well, the guy, our landlord actually tried to sell us the house during the recession for an ungodly amount of money. And we're like, no.
You're like, have you seen this place?
Have you seen this hovel? It's like, no, we're not. The AC guy came and he disconnected the heat because he said, he goes, it would be immoral for me to leave this connected because it will kill you. It's not safe. God. We actually moved out very quickly after that. But anyway, those block parties where all the dads get together in their, cargo shorts and flip-flops and, set up the ladders and create the little show for the fam. Right. I love that. I loved it. It was as close to suburban as I got, was that 4th of July holiday time period where, we were just all, drinking Coors Light and just chilling. Right. It was so fun. It was so fun. But now our kids are adults and we don't have neighbors who do that because they're all grandparents. And so I asked Daryl, I'm like, what are we going to, every year we do this. The 2 days before 4th of July, we go, are we doing anything for 4th of July? We never do anything. And I said, well, why don't we just go and watch fireworks? So we've always wanted to go to Tahoe because they have one of the best fireworks in Northern California because it's over the Tahoe Lake, or Lake Tahoe, and it's really pretty, but thousands of people. You can't get in or out of Tahoe.
I was going to say, you have to kind of hike in pretty deep, and it's just like blanket to blanket of people, and that just sounds absolutely miserable to me.
I would never. And there's a hotel, there's a couple of hotels along Lake Tahoe where if you can get a room, and you can get a room with a balcony and a lake view that you can watch from your room, those things have long been sold out.
I was going to say those things are pretty booked out in advance, though.
Right, because everybody wants the premium spot without being sitting, leg to leg with a bunch of sweaty people. And so those are nowhere near to be found.
I wonder if they like charter boats or something like that.
You can do the boat thing, but I don't know anybody who has a boat or people that I would want to be on a boat with for hours, because you have to get out there at like noon to get a spot.
God.
I just, all of it sounds terrible. So
It really does.
I think we're going to just stay at home and watch Stranger Things on Netflix and pretty much, barbecue. Daryl's going to smoke something, and I think we're just going to chill here and, just be boring, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I don't really feel bad about it. I don't find the thrill of going to a place to watch things blow up, being surrounded by thousands of people. It just seems like, first of all, it seems like a safety issue. Number one.
I don't like to be by large crowds. I mean, that's just my biggest fear.
I don't mind large crowds, but when everybody's kind of sedentary watching something, that's when something bad happens.
Well, and that's why I don't like large crowds. It
doesn't even matter. Like, it has nothing to do with the time that we're living in. It has always been that way. It has always been a dangerous time to be in a large group where people are looking up. You just never know. People around you are terrible. They're bad people.
Yeah, I've always kind of been that way where I'm always looking for the emergency exit, or I'm trying to be near like a door or something like that, because I just don't like the thought of not being able to get away.
I had a teacher in high school who told me, he said, no matter what you're doing, and he was talking specifically about driving, but he said it applies to life. Always know your exit. Mm-hmm. Always have a way out, no matter what. Even if you're in gridlock traffic, always have an exit. Mm-hmm. And that has stuck with me forever. I've never, ever forgotten that. And that's why teachers, you know what? When you get a good teacher, you're so lucky, because they impart wisdom that you just can't even believe that it's so valid. It's true. Yeah, it never, ever leaves you.
That's why I really struggle to go to the movies. It's just a big problem for me, is because I struggle to pay my total attention to the movie, right, and not pay attention to what else is going on, because I'm always so torn.
Oh, because you're looking for security, you mean?
My mind is always scanning for danger, but I can't solely focus on the movie, especially if I'm with my kids.
Yeah.
That's why I never go to the movies.
So basically when that guy in Colorado did that, it just profoundly affected.
Well, it had never occurred to me that someone would do something like that. And now that it's happened, and it's happened multiple times since. And so I'm just like, okay, so now it's right. It's not that it's not safe, but it's just, I was talking about this the other day with someone, maybe it was you or someone, but I'm just like, once someone does something, it just opens a gateway for people to start doing the same thing. It was 20 something years ago, someone killed this highway patrol officer. I think it was off of Grant Line or Jackson Highway. And it was such a big deal because no one had ever really killed an officer. Right. And then since then, now it's like, I don't want to say it's commonplace, but it happens.
Elevated risk, for sure.
It just happens. It's not uncommon anymore.
It's just like with anything. It's like someone does it, you're like, oh, never thought of that before. Here we go. But I mean, there's a positive to that too, though. There's, Elon Musk invented electric cars, and now every single car manufacturer is coming out with it. And they're like, well, how do you feel about that? You're going to be one-upped by all these people. He's like, my whole goal was for everybody to have electric cars. I win. Right. But anyway.
So my point is that, these dangerous acts, though, they open a gateway for people to be like, even like 9/11, when the airplanes crashed into the buildings, it was so simple what they did.
This has taken a very dark turn.
I know.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry. So my point is that I
don't like going to the movies. Okay, you guys?
I don't like going to the movies. I want to, but I don't.
Okay. Happy birthday, America.
Sorry.
Okay, we're going to go into Paula's world for a bit. La, 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 la. Paula's world. Let's move on to your big idea. A couple of weeks ago, you said that you had Okay, so here's the thing. You said you had an idea for matchmaking because you were watching some show.
Yes.
But here's the thing. 90% of the time you have a great idea, someone's already invented it. So I want you to tell me this, and then I will shit on your plan immediately if need be. But go on.
Well, the idea is not for the world. The idea is for me.
Okay. Oh, all right.
So
Twist.
as I've been watching Kate Plus Date, she has like this expert. I don't know how this expert is an expert. I don't know if she's like a psychologist or if she's like a...
Well, there are matchmakers.
Yeah, but I don't know how they're like licensed. I mean, you can't become a licensed matchmaker. You have to be like some kind of...
No, the
therapist
dating, before Tinder, people would go to agencies and they would go on file and say, okay, we have this crazy person who wants to meet someone not so crazy. And they would go to their files for people who signed up and they would say, oh, this would be a great match. And they set them up on dates. It was very common. In fact, it still exists. It's just most people go online now. They use Match.com instead of a person.
I was thinking, so they set Kate up on all these dates with these guys that they think she'll be compatible with, or, you know, I don't even know if they think that she'll be compatible with. They just start like trying them on like clothes, you know?
Sure.
I'm not even going to talk about Kate. But anyways, I was thinking, and you guys have always said this, that I just don't have good enough taste for myself.
No, you don't.
I pick the worst people.
You like trash.
I don't like trash.
Yes, you do, Paula. You like trash. Yes, you do. You go, oh, he's trashy and an asshole. Come to me. I can fix this. That is your attraction. You're like, oh, he treats me like total garbage and he has no intention of committing to me whatsoever. It's so weird. He only wants to see me at night, but oh well. Go on.
So I was thinking it would be fun or interesting if I let you and maybe, I don't know, Stephanie? I don't know.
Yeah.
Decide who I should date.
Oh, God, I'm all in. I am all in.
But, I mean, how would you guys find people?
It's not hard to find people, but you have to be some version of your best self. You can't be sleeping all day. You can't, you've got to like put yourself together.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm not saying I would. This was just 2 days, Jamie. Come on.
No, I'm just talking that if I'm going to set you up, I want you to be ready for it.
I'm not saying it has to be now.
It's not going to be now. I'm just saying you have to be ready for it. I can't just say, oh, so I met this guy named Kevin. And are you ready? It's like, no, that's not what I mean. But yes. Don't you worry where I find them. If he's perfect, what does it matter?
But I mean, I have standards too, so.
Paula, your standards are not high. It's easy. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about meeting your standards. It'll be good.
But I don't want anybody short.
I know.
And they have to be good looking.
Okay, well, your idea of good looking, I mean, okay. Look, I've seen some of the guys you think are attractive outside of celebs, and they're fine. They're like 5s, 6s.
What?
Paula, I've never met any guy that you were completely in love with that I went, oh, he's a looker. So we all have taste that isn't necessarily what somebody else's taste is. Like when I first met Daryl, I didn't find him attractive in the least. He was nothing like I want. He was nothing like any guy I'd ever met. And you've met some of my boyfriends. I wouldn't consider them 9s and 10s. Would you?
Well, we just have different tastes.
Yes, I know. But what I'm saying is, universally speaking, my idea of attractive is not your idea of attractive. And so, I mean, what does attractive mean? Because, I mean, Leo DiCaprio is not available.
Well, no, but I mean, and he's not even necessarily my type. That's the weird part.
I know you want someone who's Italian and you want someone who's not short. So that's going to be hard.
So traditionally, I would say like 5'11" or above.
How about just taller than you?
No, everyone's taller than me, Jamie.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't work. Probably like medium build. They don't have to be muscular necessarily.
No gym rats?
No. But I mean, be careful on the dad bod. I mean,
oh, please. You know how I feel about those.
Like when they say dad bod, I mean, there's a fine line between dad bod and beer gut.
You don't want them to look like the letter B. I get it.
No.
But here's the thing, though. If I were to meet someone that I would think was perfect for you and they didn't fit everything, you yourself have to be open-minded. Because I was open-minded, and that's how I met Daryl. Like, he became single, and suddenly he was like, hey, baby, want to go round? And I'm like, no, ew! But we were friends for a really long time. And then I saw him differently. I didn't see him as this scrawny little person with a big mouth. Now I saw a lot of potential and went, wow, he's really funny and he's really super smart and he's really, his career, he's really aggressive with his career. And the one thing that made me the most attracted to him was that he was not someone who wanted to settle any longer. He was always looking forward, always looking forward. And so I found that so admirable that I saw him and not what he was inside his body. And I got him better clothes and I got him a decent haircut. And then suddenly he looked really great. And he shaved all that shit off his face. He looked really good. And now he's put on some weight, thank God. He's actually, he weighs more than me now, which is nice.
That's a plus. So he can't fit in my jeans anymore.
I got to tell you, Paula, one time I had to borrow some jeans and they fit, but they were his. And I'm like, okay, this is not acceptable. I can't have this. I cannot be with a man where he can wear my pants. And one time he put on my pants. He goes, these don't feel right.
And I remember he put on my pants.
And I looked at it and I went, those are women's jeans. He goes, oh. And I'm like, get them off. I'm like, God damn it. I can't have that. I cannot have that.
He tried to put on a pair of my pants. He's like, these are pretty tight. And you're like, those are my sister pants.
I remember that. Yeah, absolutely. So although I will look for the candy coating, if inside is gross, then what's the point? But I take the challenge.
So just based on what I suggested, what would be your thought process in this manner? Like, what are you, off the bat, what are you thinking?
Oh, as far as what kind of person?
Like, no, like how would you go about to like,
well, first of all, because of the work that Daryl and I are in, we know a ton of people. We know all kinds of people and they know people. And so I'm not worried about that. My biggest concern is geography. That's my biggest thing, because you're so unwilling to move out from the town you live in. And so it's like that is the biggest hurdle, I think. Plus, you don't want anyone much older.
Well, like, define much older.
You don't want anyone in their 40s or late 40s. You don't want anyone.
Don't mind that.
You don't want anyone rounding the big 50, or you don't care, because that's a lot. Because you can't possibly want anyone who wants more children.
No.
So that's off the table. And anyone in our age range, and that includes you, they have near adult children.
Okay, like if they want more children, I'm open to like surrogacy or adoption.
They have to have money for that then. That's expensive.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
But I mean, I cannot carry any more children.
No. Okay. I can't. I mean, off the bat, I can just say that once you know someone's looking and you know the qualities that you're looking for. See, the thing is that you yourself have said you don't really have a high standard necessarily for men.
I don't say that.
Well, you said you have bad taste because you pick trash. Oh, I said that.
No, you said I pick trash. I tend to pick people who are narcissistic.
Yes, you pick narcissists. That's correct.
And I mistake, confidence for assholeness. I mistake challenge for selfishness.
Right.
And so I need to stop making those mistakes.
Yeah, it was funny because I was so non-committal when I was single, and I thought that was very freeing for me because it prevented me from getting hurt by men who also, because most men that I knew back then did not have any intention of committing to anything.
Well, yeah, but you also have to figure you were in your 20s, Jamie. I'm 40.
No, I know. I
don't want to be alone.
Most don't. Most people don't. But my point is that I logistically was picking people who shared my same desire to not be committed.
Well, so did I. That's why I dated married men.
And then as I got older, I realized, I never thought that I would meet someone who would want to be with a single mom. Personally, it never even crossed my mind that a single mom would be potential for anybody. So I stopped caring. And then I stopped having sex because then suddenly nobody, I just turned off the signal, like I was not available. So, but I did have a lot of very lovely men want to be with me and date me long term and with potential for marriage. But I just wasn't interested in that because they were either too old or they didn't have enough money and I'm not a gold digger at all. It was just the circumstances just were not ideal. And I'm like, what's the point if I'm not, or if I'm not attracted to you, so what's the point? I'm not going to settle.
You know what was funny for me is I actually did have quite a few men that were very into me, but they had certain flaws about them that I just said, you know what, those are going to be deal breakers for me.
Yeah.
But then I would be seeing someone, like not even seeing them. It would be like a secret thing, and I would be like madly in love with this person. And I would be totally ready to commit to this person, but they would be like, I don't know, kind of thing. Like they were just in it for the sex. And I'm just like, okay, so I turned these people down because of one thing, but I'm like ready to be all in with this person. And they're not even in the same batting field.
Right. They're not interested at all.
And I'm like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah. Well, I'm
a broken person.
Well, we're all broken. We're all broken people. I think given the track record of our family, I think you and I can agree that I really got lucky choosing Daryl. I really did. And he wasn't all that great when I met him. I mean, he was not a very nice person. Yeah. But the happier he got, the better he got. And he, like I said, was constantly looking to be better. And he still is. It's what I admire about him the most, So finding somebody like that, maybe whatever it is that you admire in another human, not just a man, but anything that you admire in people, that's the kind of qualities that you want to look for in a person, right? So it's like you have to think, well, when I think about people that I admire, whether they're man or woman or whatever, what is it that I admire about those people? Whether it's a celebrity or someone that you've worked with or, a friend or a sibling or anybody that you go, I really admire that about them, that person. And if that will create an attraction, usually. So you have to think about that. You have to decide. It's like, when I think about people that I genuinely love and admire or like and admire, what is it about them that I like besides that they're incredibly sexy? Like if there's other foundation things, like I find men who are in love with their wives sexy. Not that I want to have sex with them, but I just find that so appealing because it's so rare that you find that anymore in public. So it's like, and I have a hard time believing that Daryl is legitimately that person, but I know he is. I meet people all the time who tell me that. They say, oh, you're Daryl's wife. We've heard so much about you. He talks about you all the time. I'm like, what? So when I meet a man who is genuinely dedicated and in love with his wife, especially after a long time, I go, God, that's a sexy guy, because that is such a great quality in a person. And so you have to think, well, what is that? And then if you tell me that, then I can think about it. And then if I come across people like that, I will go, I have the girl for you. Because it has to be, I can get you laid, but if you want to meet someone of substance, I would just need to know a little bit about, I can't just say, oh, I know you, so I know what you like. I know what you like. But if you want something different, then I have to know what you admire about. So I think everybody should think that way, though. Not just you, but I mean everyone. If they're struggling, I think that's a really great thing to think of, and then look for that in other people. And they may not look the way you think they're supposed to look, but they are so amazing that it doesn't matter.
I mean, I will say that I have been attracted to people who have not met my physical requirements, just simply because they're so amazing that it wouldn't even matter.
Right.
Because I just like, they're such great people.
Yeah. So think about that. So think about the thing that you admire in humans, whether it's, a quality that they have or whatever it is, that makes them that. And then once we know that, then when I meet people or know people like that, I'll be like, oh, she would love this guy.
Right.
But then comes the dating part, the first dates. Do you want to just do dinner? Or, with your dietary restrictions, you guys could go for a bowl of ice.
Well, that's just part of the deal. They'll just have to either deal with it or not. So.
So she's really great. She's adorable, blonde and blue-eyed, tiny, can't eat a thing. She can't have anything. They'll be like, what? So she brings her own snacks. Don't worry.
Oh, you know what? If it's a deterrent, it's a deterrent. But I've done
Everyone has a dietary problem. Everybody. Nobody is nothing.
That's what keeps me thin.
I wish that I could lose weight like you. I have a disease.
Who said that? I forgot.
Mackenzie told you. She goes, God, I wish I could be as thin as you. And you're like, I have a disease.
Mackenzie has a disease.
And she's like, well, I want whatever you've got.
Well, when the time is right, I don't know what Stephanie will bring to the table other than she'll just look for people who have, silk suits and ties and
is that so
expensive
bad?
Italian shoes.
I'll just say, hey, I met this guy. He's got the qualities that she really loves. And he'd be like, well, is he rich or does he dig ditches?
She'll be like, what kind of car does he drive?
Yeah, what kind of car does he drive? Does he have an ex-wife? How many children does he have? How many is he paying for?
What's his job title?
Yeah, it's like, is he digging ditches? What? Does he have a business card or nothing? What kind of phone? Does he have a flip phone or an iPhone 10? What are we talking? But that's good, though. Actually, that's good, though.
She'll ask good questions.
She will, because I'll be like, oh, no, he's a motivated person, just like she likes. He's like, yeah, motivated doing what? Cleaning toilets?
Yeah, right.
Let's be real.
He says he lays pipe. That's not a real job. We learned that.
Did we learn nothing from Exotic Zone Ball?
My God, I can't believe we actually believed that was a real job.
We were drunk, Paula. We didn't know. I lay pipe. He's a plumber, you guys.
Sober, Jamie. We would have believed it.
I know, we're so gullible. When he said, you said he's a plumber.
He was muscular. He had no shirt on.
I know.
He was wearing fireman waders.
He was cute.
And, oh God.
He was really cute. No doubt. No doubt. I just remember going to the bathroom and rolling my ankle on those damn stripper heels I had to wear.
And then Stephanie was talking to a guy with an arrow through his head.
That was so funny.
And I was making out with the guy in the fireman waders.
You're all, you guys, he's a plumber. That means he's rich. God.
I don't even know what I was talking about.
Idiot woman.
I didn't care. He was a good kisser.
Well, so we'll find some people for you. We'll put you on some dates and we'll see how it goes. Maybe.
Not right now.
No. Maybe in the fall.
Yeah, when I get my license and everything, which I've started, by the way. You should be happy.
I am happy. Yes. I'm so proud of you.
It's actually not as easy as I thought it would be.
The first step is opening it up. That's the first step. It's the hardest.
I think I've already done 2 hours.
Good for you. Well, you know what? That's all that matters is you started. Congratulations. Yes. I'm proud of you. So and I'm not being sarcastic. I'm legitimately happy for you.
I know. So It's not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
Well, it's a lot of legality, right? There's a lot of laws and a lot of rules and specifics. You can't just show someone a house and be like, here, sign on the dotted line.
Right now I'm on the difference between a broker and a sales agent. And if you have a corporation or a sole proprietor or, blah, blah, blah.
All the little semantics.
Yeah. So it's just geez, I didn't realize there was all this stuff.
I'm very happy for you. You'll make a great partner one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you'll have your
I'll
own.
I'll own my own business.
You never know.
Ugly real estate.
I love it.
No.
And I'll be the ugly notary.
I don't think people will want to do ugly real estate.
Flippers will.
It'll be UG real estate.
Actually, if you decide to only sell flipping homes, most of them are ugly. I've seen those little signs around the street. We buy ugly houses. That could be us. You never know. All right. So it's time to go to our Ugly and Awkward Moments of the Week. We're going to do First Date Edition.
Ugh. How appropriate.
We're talking about matchmaking you in the future. So I thought some of these could happen to you. We don't know. Depends on who I set you up with.
I've had an ugly first date, but I think we've talked about that in the past.
Which one?
The one where the butt cheek guy face kidnapped me to Roseville.
Yes, I do remember. Just like the bad first date I had with the wannabe cop who made me pay for everything.
What was funny is I wound up talking to my friend on the phone for like a half an hour or 45 minutes in the bathroom.
See now,
and then I came out and he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "One of my friends called. He needed advice."
Oh my God, Paula, you're so bad. Okay, so I have 3 bad first dates. Here's the first one. And these are short. That's why I have 3 of them. I was out on a date with a guy who said he had no money and borrowed $10 to buy a drink at a convenience store. Oh my God. It's drying me up immediately just by reading this.
Why would you even go out on a date then?
Maybe they, dates go south so abruptly. It's not like it's a gradual thing. Usually it happens. Something happens. They show their true selves because they want out of it. And so they'll do something detestable to get out of the date. So I borrowed $10 to buy a drink at a convenience store, came back with a scratch off, won $60, and took me home since I wouldn't go to the strip club with his quote unquote winnings. That was a first date. Can you even imagine?
What?
He didn't even give her her $10 back.
I mean, why would you think it's inappropriate on a first date?
He wanted out of it.
To a strip club.
Men will do anything to get out of a date they don't want to be on anymore. That's the way I look at it. Women too. I mean, all people. Okay, here's the next one.
Every woman has the friend that calls up 45 minutes in and say that there's an emergency.
I'm like, is there an emergency or isn't there one? Oh, there is? Oh my God.
I'm like, you're kidding me. Oh my gosh, I'll be right there.
I don't lie. I just say, you know what? I'm done. I'm getting an Uber.
No, I've always had Allison call me on first dates.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, this is from Linda. In college, a friend set me up on a blind date. I wasn't in a great mood because I had received a traffic ticket a few hours before. My day got worse when my blind date turned out to be the cop who gave me the ticket.
Hey, she had a date with a cop, though?
Yeah, but what if he was an asshole?
Well, he was there. He probably could have retrieved the ticket.
I got pulled over by this cop, not a guy, it was a cop, CHP. I was in a rental car because somebody had teed me in my truck, and so it was being fixed. And so I was in this rental car, and I did not have my seatbelt on because I had just pulled over. I just pulled out and was driving. And you know the trick where you start driving and then you buckle your seatbelt.
You've never been good about your seatbelt, Jamie.
I do buckle it. It's just I usually do it while I'm driving. Usually, like within a few yards of me pulling out, I will buckle the seatbelt. I don't know why. It's like once I start driving, I remember to buckle. Anyway, so I pulled that maneuver and the cop saw me, so he pulled me over. And it was a rental car, so I just gave him all the paperwork that was in the driver's or in the glove box because I had no idea anything about it. And he's like, "Well, the tags are expired on this car." And I'm like, "It's a rental." He's like, "Does this face look like I care?" He goes, "Not only that, but your seatbelt wasn't buckled." And I go, "It is buckled." He goes, "It wasn't, and I saw you." And I said, "Well, how are you going to prove that?" And he was one of the most attractive men I've ever seen, but he was such a fucking asshole. He gave me a ticket for both, and I had to go to court and fought it. And I got it reduced to like $120, but I still had to pay it. Even though the freaking rental car, there was nothing wrong with it. He was just being a dick.
Wow.
So if that guy had shown up on a blind date, I'd be like, "Fuck you and your mother." And I would have gotten up and walked out. Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
I'm trying to think if I've actually had a moving violation.
You've never gotten a ticket?
No, I've gotten tickets before. I've gotten tickets like because my registration stickers weren't on there, so they were technically fix-it tickets.
Right.
But I've never actually gotten the only moving violation I got was from like one of those red light cameras.
Yes.
But I've never actually gotten a ticket from an officer. And I've been pulled over like 5 times. A couple times that I've been pulled over, Victor was in Afghanistan, so I totally used that to my advantage. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, my husband's in Afghanistan. He usually takes care of these things. And, the kids were in the back seat. And they're like, "Oh, it's okay." Do you know how many business cards I got, though?
Sure.
if you need anything, you call me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I will. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you know what? I have received, with the amount of times I've been pulled over, it's always been for speeding.
Not surprising.
Yeah, I've never received a speeding ticket. Never.
Your license plate said, I'm not driving fast, I'm flying low.
Yes. No, never got a speeding ticket. Lots of warnings, but never got a speeding ticket. Okay, so here's the last one. We'll end on a good note. Boy goes to girlfriend's house to pick her up for their date, only to be told by her older sister that she had gone away for the weekend with a different boyfriend. Boy thinks for a minute, then says, do you want to go out then? That was my parents' first date.
No.
Yes.
We would never do that.
Well, it's not us.
I'm just saying, if that was one of us, we would have slapped him across the face.
Well, they're not all Uggs.
That's disgusting.
Some families are different. So you don't you don't see that as romantic, apparently.
No, I don't. And what kind of sister would rat her sister out like that? That's just like, that's totally assholey.
Well, I don't know. If she's not there and she's gone for the weekend, what are you going to do?
I wouldn't have been like, oh, she went away for the weekend with her other boyfriend. I would have been like, oh.
Maybe the older sister liked this guy. I'm not saying it's appropriate.
So what? It's not hoes before bros.
I know. It's sisters before misters. I get it.
It's just...
I get it.
I mean, I don't find that romantic at all. If I was the sister and they got married, I would have been like, fuck you, bitch.
Even though you were in the wrong.
It doesn't matter.
Listen, I would never take anyone's seconds anyway. I don't give a shit who it is. No, if I'm the older sister and it's Stephanie's boyfriend, oh my God, I can't. It's like, that's like dating a brother. No.
Jamie, you have said that if you died, you have offered Daryl to any of us.
I did not.
You did too.
No, I didn't. I asked Daryl, I said, would you do that? And he's like, I can't think of one.
Oh, please. Like, he would tell you the truth.
I don't know. We're pretty close. I would think he'd be honest about it, but it doesn't matter.
That's like,
he doesn't look at you guys like that. He looks at you as siblings.
But I'm just saying, it's like that game that you play, like, you know, if not me, then who? You know, you don't give a real name.
I don't like that game.
Because if you give a real name, they hang that over your head forever.
Okay, first of all,
you pick a make-believe person. Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, like...
None of you...
No one that's actually attainable.
Okay, I'm alive, so maybe that's the thing, but he does not think of any of you as potential anything other than siblings. Literally siblings.
Okay, just ask Bo Biden's wife and...
Why are you doing this?
I'm just saying.
Why are you doing this? Why is your soul in the depths of hell today?
I don't know.
You're killing me.
You know what? I don't really know. What's my problem?
I don't know. You have brought up the shooting in theaters, 9/11, and now Hunter Biden fucking his brother's wife. It's like
only for like 9 months, because then they broke up and then he met this chick and they married like a week later. I mean, what the fuck's that about?
You only get one segment a show from now on. You don't get to do two. That's it.
I know.
That is all.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I'm post-period and I'm just like, my hormones haven't adjusted.
Paula, I swear to freaking God, I am late again on my period. I am drying up.
Are you pregnant?
No. Oh my God, you're funny. I am literally drying up as we speak. I just know it.
Has Daryl's vasectomy failed you again?
No. God.
Is your baby a different color?
Oh my God. No, I'm just so, and you know, you're right. Irregularity is not a few days late, but for me it is. It feels like forever. It's like, I am crying over stupid crap on television. I started crying watching Chopped the other day, Paula.
Are you
Chopped.
joking me? They have the stupidest backstories ever.
Of course they're stupid. I'm like, oh, he won. I'm like, no. Stop crying over dumb stuff. Enough already.
Wait a minute. You're only like 1 day late, right?
A couple days.
Because I've already come and gone.
Paula, you know what though? You go months without having your period sometimes.
Well, I'm on the birth control now.
Yes,
so
you're on the birth control. Did you get it at the Target?
I'm just
at the internet?
No, I got it at the CVS.
Oh, pardon.
I'm pretty regular now, so.
Anyway, well, we need to get wrapped up here, miss.
So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.